Welcome to our third episode of 2023 Thanksgiving trip. We spent one night at the Sunset Rip Campground. It's a free first come first served BLM campground. It was really windy overnight and we woke up many times. We wanted to get going, so we left early in the morning. This is the first time we went to Texas as a family. The drive was only about 30 minutes. We took some pictures at the sign and drove to the Pine Springs Visitor Center. We made a simple breakfast and then went to the Visitor Center. It looks like. And they have raccoons too. Oh, they have wild turkey? The visitor center was small, but we learned about the wildlife and the formation of the Guadalupe Mountains. We got Junior Ranger badges and the National Park stamp and headed to Frijole Ranch. It was only about 1.5 mile drive to Frijole Ranch.
Creates electricity.
We wanted to hike a short trail, and the Smith Spring Trail at Frijole Ranch was perfect for us. We're also hoping to see some fall colors on the trail. The Smith family settled here in the early 1900s. There were a house, an orchard, gardens, and even a schoolhouse. It's a museum now, but it was closed when we visited. Frijole Spring was still running. The Smith Spring Trail is a 2.3-mile loop trail and starts from the ranch. The first stop was Manzanita Spring. After that, it starts going uphill towards the mountain. The weather was perfect for the hike. Once in a while, we took a break and looked back to enjoy the view behind us. It was only a 400 feet elevation change, but it felt like we came up really high. The scenery changed as we went up. We could hear the running water, and as we hoped, there were some fall-colored leaves left for us to enjoy. It was beautiful. This is Smith Spring. We listened to the spring and admired colorful leaves and started hiking down. We came back to the Pine Springs area. There's some RV campsites at the Pine Springs campground. It was already full when we started planning this trip, but we got lucky when someone canceled a night. It's basically a parking lot campground, but we liked it because it's nice to be surrounded by the mountains. It's also very convenient if you plan to go hiking. There are 4 trails that start here. We had a late lunch. Originally, we're going to just relax, but the kids wanted to check out the Devil's Hall Trail. The rangers warned us that it would be too tough for us, so we did not put it on our agenda. We decided to go about a mile where it gets rocky and come back. After the kids saw the trail through the rocks and the boulders, they wanted to go just a little more. So we did go a little more. The kids had so much fun climbing and hiking through the rocks. We probably could have hiked this trail to the end, but we're not prepared to go any farther. I got to watch the sunrise the next morning. The mountains got some red reflections from the sun. It was chilly, but it was beautiful and peaceful. We hit the road right after breakfast. We're heading to Tucson, Arizona. It would take us at least 6.5 hours. But before we got out of Texas, we had a mission to go to Whataburger. We're back in New Mexico. After a boring drive through the desert and more desert, we arrived in Arizona. Finally, we checked into our campsite. We got some food from the restaurant at the campground for dinner. Some barbecue from the campground. That's pulled pork sandwich, brisket sandwich, and loaded potato. The next day was the Thanksgiving Day. Just like last year, we made sous vide prime rib for dinner. We set it up the night before, and we started cooking in the morning. It was a good Thanksgiving dinner. We also had a late night snack. This was it for today's episode. In the next episode, we will visit Saguaro National Park. Thank you for watching.